Hello everyone, welcome to the Wilhelm Gustloff's death, and this is the 75th, 76th anniversary of the ship sinking. You'll notice this is a new recording. I didn't really like how the last one turned out, so yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, the ship was sailing through the Baltic. Got 10,000 people on it. It's evacuating German refugees from Russia. Oh nice, this is really quiet. So yeah, let's kind of start on the bow and work our way back and then up. So this is the very front of the ship. We've got the Promenade here. I wish that was added as like part of the interiors, but it's fine. And then like we got all of this. Bow. Bow. Stop, sorry, you like just woke up. You got a crane, you got capstans, you got anchor chains, all that stuff. Moving aft, we got like lifeboats and things like that. Would you look at that? Quite a few of them actually. Far more than the other ship, Titanic. Is now moving, since the torpedoes will be coming soon. So, going down this deck, we have this other one here, on the same level of the bow. Down here we have the aftmost deck, the poop deck, and it's actually pretty small. And so now we're going to want to stick to the left-hand side. So we're going up to this deck now, above the lifeboats. Oh, here comes the first one. I'll have to finish up this. There it goes, it just hit the ship. We are kind of wheeling off to one side. That first one hit the bow. People are now trapped. That one hit the pool. Net. So the pool's gone, and that one hit the engine room. Oh yeah, and the funnel accurate, so that's fine. So yeah, no, we got this main deck here. And so a little more on the torpedoes. The first one hit the bow and basically sealed a bunch of people inside because the watertight doors automatically closed. The second one hit the pool where 200 naval auxiliary girls were staying, and then 5 made it out. And the third one hit the engine room, which knocked out the power, but, well, I mean, the lights go out later, so at least that happens, but yeah, no, what really, for historical accuracy, what should have happened is the lights should have gone out then, and then, have a few of them stay on, as a deep orange. And then have them, kind of flick on at the end, because that's what people reported seeing. So yeah, no, we have pretty much toured the entire ship. The ship is now listing quite heavily. It's only going to get worse, too. So, yeah. What's happening? Sadly, the only access onto this deck is, all the way back here by the funnel, so it's a bit of a walk. And so now people are kind of, rushing out onto this main deck while the crew attempts to get the lifeboats prepared. Oh yeah, and remember what I said about those people in the bow getting, sealed away, and the watertight doors automatically closed, so they're trapped. Those are the people who are supposed to be, manning the lifeboats and all that, so they're all drowning, and there's no one really left to work a lot of these. Like, there are a few people who were, like, up in the bridge at the time, but it's the middle of the night, so there isn't many people. Yeah, no, it's all just kind of, all the lifeboats are just kind of sitting here. Those people, like, swarm around them, trampling each other. The direness of the situation kind of takes hold. The list is just getting worse and worse, like, getting harder and harder to walk. Today, you know, at least the ship's floating. So many lifeboats just sitting around doing nothing. Now, another neat thing is that due to the circumstances of this ship evacuating, like, soldiers and civilians and all those kind of people, there were actually 4 different captains aboard the Wilhelm Gustloff at the time of its sinking. Now, there was, like, the captain of the Wilhelm Gustloff, but the other 3 were, like, one of them was, like, the captain of the submarine, of the submarine division in the area, and people like that. So they all thought they were in charge and kind of argued and bickered about what they should do. One such thing that this led to was they led to taking the northern route where there could be submarines, but because of the worsening weather, they thought that the submarines wouldn't really go out. Another decision that they made, the one that doomed the ship, was a fight on if that a transmission came in, because the torpedo boat low should be kind of close to here, but the ship, the low was like its radio equipment and submarine detection, that was all like frozen, and because that was all frozen, they got like one transmission saying that there were like tankers ahead of them, so they had an argument on whether or not to turn the lights on, turn the navigation lights on, and risk being spotted, or keep the navigation lights off and risk having a collision. And they chose, and after the argument happened, and in the end, the captain put his foot down and chose that they should turn the lights on. Oh, look, lifeboat's already leaving the ship. And chose to, turn the lights on. That's how S-13 spotted them. Another, like, inaccurate thing about this game is, no lifeboats got off this side. None of them got off this side. There were 6 that got off that side, but because of the way the ship listed, they couldn't get lifeboats off this side without them, like, hitting the side of the ship. Yeah, no, the list's already gotten quite a bit worse than it was earlier, and the lifeboats on this side are starting to deploy. Ah, yes, here we go. Singing out and lowering. Ship listing this much, you know, people are probably like pushing each other over this side and all that. So, yeah, no, like, this is not a good situation. Uh, now, uh, not so fun fact is that all 4 of those captains that I mentioned earlier, they all lived. Every single one of them. And, that includes the captain of the Wilhelm itself. The captain of the Gustloff itself. So, and I'm pretty sure, like, one of them was faced with charges of manslaughter, and the rest all got away as if everything was fine. I personally think they all should have been charged for manslaughter, because, well, their job was to keep the ship safe, and, you know, they had one job. Maybe, and not to mention that captain goes down with the ship. I mean, I guess you, I guess you could make the argument that, like, the other 3 captains don't really count because they weren't the real captains, but in that case, then they should have gotten, like, like, obstructing the crew charge, if that even exists, because they were not helping the situation, like, at all. As you can see, water is getting... The lifeboats have all left the ship. I believe these are all the ones that do leave the ship. 5 on each side, 10. Not accurate, but it looks good. Look at that, the shadow's like kind of creeping closer to the edge. That's scary. And then, yeah, there's like that star in the sky just... Ooh, I didn't even notice that the clouds moved. That's amazing. But, yeah, it was kind of like a small storm. You can see the rain falling and, you know, the clouds in the sky. Aw, they got rid of the lifeboats bobbing. Well, that's kind of sad. So yeah, no, this ship is already listing quite a lot, actually. So, ship's listing, lifeboats are abandoned ship. It's sinking rather slowly. Just kind of slowly rolling onto its side. Let's see if I can... There we go. And, so yeah, this seems to be going, terribly, you know, a couple thousand people, I'll go with 1,000, are already dead, or have no chance of escaping, because they're trapped in the bow, like I mentioned earlier. Look how close that is. It's not good to be that close to the water. Oh yeah, that's a good way to tell how much you're listing. Look at the horizon and compare the deck to the horizon. Now, obviously, looking at a stairwell, you can tell the ship's listing, but if you're ever curious on if the ship has like a slight list or not, then yeah, like, look over the back deck compared to the horizon. That's how you can tell if the ship's listing or not. And so, down the ship goes. I'm waiting back here because I want to, like, catch the thing on camera. My last recording, like, really the only problem was you couldn't hear me over the sounds of the game, and that's why I turned the volume low, way down. Oh, here we go. The water is actually very clearly defined here, so it won't be much of a question if the water gets onto the deck when it does. Well, onto the deck when it does. Because it's not going to be like, oh, are the shadows doing the floopy thing? No, it's going to be like, the deck is blue. The deck is very much blue. And there it goes. The deck, back deck of the Wilhelm Gustloff, has officially touched water. Let's see how the rest of the ship is faring. Not well, and it's going quick. This is getting down and fast. Going down and going fast. So I believe now the ship is kind of starting to move from plunging by the stern to plunging more by the head. Now I need to, come on, water, rise so I can jump over this railing and back onto the ship. Oh my god, just do it. There we go. And there it goes. The deck, the main deck is flooding. The deck that we've been standing on for the vast majority of this game is going under, and it's going fast. So let's see if we can get to the bow before this side of the deck begins to go. Come on. Bet you the bow will be under by the time we get to that side. Yeah, no. There goes the bridge. Yeah, no. So onto the promenade we go, due to how quickly the ship is going down. This is going to be like the best place to be. And yeah, no, the funnel is still going. Apparently there's now like a light zappy sound effect. The game launched yesterday and they've already got an update, so. Oh, there it goes. The lights went out. Let's watch this funnel flood. Just climb up on top of it. Jump! And yeah, there goes the symbol on the funnel. And so yeah, no, like thousands are already dead, and anyone who's in the water is probably like is very quickly freezing to death. Like this, if you didn't know, this is in the middle of the Baltic Sea. Like I'm pretty sure they said that at the beginning, and the Baltic Sea is actually known as the coldest ocean in the world. So it's not a very good place you want to be if you're going to survive a sinking ship, because if you don't get onto a lifeboat, I mean, even if you get onto a lifeboat, and this is, so you still might freeze to death if if the air is cold enough. So hypothermia was like the major killer here, like the Titanic. So yeah, no, like, so there goes the funnel. The ship is rapidly sinking. And there goes the portals. For some reason, those lights don't turn off, but it's fine. This is all fine. There it goes. The ship is sinking rather quickly. Like, look at that. It's going quite fast. Oh, there goes this deck. With the collapsible boats and stuff. I kind of wish those floated off, but I don't think they did in real life, so it's fine. Features versus historical accuracy. And so yeah, no, we're standing on like the last corner of deck. It'll take a minute for those davits to go down, but there that goes. The railings are below the sea. It's kind of creepy when all that's left is the lifeboat davits just slowly sinking. Here goes one of them. There's another davit. That's kind of weird. That's a weird texture glitch. Neat. And there goes the last davit, leaving 10 lifeboats in this vast ocean. In real life, it would have been 6 and torpedo boat low. Now, as soon as the low's stuff got back up, like they could start like sending distress calls. They sent out like a bunch with the Wilhelm Gustloff, and despite the 10,000 or around 10,000 people she was carrying, only around 1,000 survived. So that's 9,000 people lost time itself. And yeah, no, that's a weird bug. So yeah, no, this is the 75th, 76th anniversary of the Wilhelm Gustloff. Loss of 9,000 lives. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video, and rest in peace to those 9,000 people. Dang it. Bye-bye.